Okay, so reading about Zora, I really kind of made me think of another wonderful woman in that time period, my grandma. So, thanks. Okay, so I have the honor of delivering the eulogy for my beloved grandma, Dieguita. Yeah, they don't make those names anymore. On a frigid, snowy December morning in 2013. At 96 years old, my grandma had outlived most of her friends and acquaintances and 2 ex-husbands. She enjoyed a simple life, which included watching crazy Spanish game shows from the basement apartment my mom had constructed at her home. When visiting the family, I'd often walk downstairs, look at the TV, look back at my grandma, and then ask her, Grandma, why are there half-naked men throwing pies at each other on TV? She'd say, oh, I'm not watching that garbage. She'd say with one eye on her prayer book and another fixed on some ridiculously attractive, well-oiled Latin man prancing across the TV. Only a few days before her death, my mom reluctantly called an ambulance to take Grandma to the hospital because she suddenly wasn't eating. And trust me, Grandma, like me, could eat. Her favorite meal in her later years was 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on white bread. So yes, that's right, when you're 96 years old, you like to eat like a 6-year-old. When the doctors came in the hospital room to confirm that the fluid extracted from Grandma's abdomen was in fact malignant, my mom had a confused look on her face. Mommy, my mom lovingly asked her mom, has your stomach been hurting you? My grandma, who suddenly looked so childlike to me in that big hospital bed, squirmed a little, and like a polite woman of her generation replied, well, you know, I didn't want to complain. In her eulogy, I spoke of her accomplishments as a radio DJ, a singer, and community organizer in Puerto Rico. I explained how she won a singing contest and arrived in New York City to actually perform in the national contest in late October 1941, only to see it all slip away a few weeks later when Pearl Harbor was attacked. After her son died in Vietnam, she worked for veterans' rights. After she permanently relocated to the States to live with us / be my nanny, she volunteered for 20 plus years at our local hospital. She gave more than half of her tiny Social Security check to charity every month. She always believed that she had more than enough, and that if someone needed and she had it, that she should just give it up. Except if it was cake. So she would not share cake. Again, going back to the food thing. I continued in the eulogy. I shared anecdotes of the summer and fall of 1986 we spent watching the New York Mets and her crushes Doc Gooden and Keith Hernandez win the World Series. I spoke about the day I overheard my grandma explaining to my brother, who also works in radio, how they used to do things at the station back in her day. I recall how my grandma ended her lesson with a look that said, hey, I may be old, but I still know a thing or two. And we never doubted she did. I questioned if her amazing life was all in spite of or because of her hard upbringing. She grew up very poor. She only completed 8th grade. Her father would literally bet the farm on cockfights. Sometimes he won, but a lot of times he lost. And those experiences made her very practical and very frugal, sometimes to excess. My grandma was the type of woman who would use the same paper towel at least 4 to 5 times before throwing it out. I'm like, Grandma, we're doing well now. Can you use a new paper towel? She'd just look at me like I was the crazy one. Now, all you do is fold it over. This side is clean. Está bien. In the eulogy, I kept talking about how only being able to finish 8th grade really ignited a real desire in her to learn. She could hold her own in conversations about politics, history, current events. She wrote poetry. She could read, write, and fluently speak English and Spanish, which is much more than I could say for my college-educated Spanglish-speaking self. To me, she had a PhD from the School of Life, and always had some advice or another way for you to look at a situation or problem. But to give a complete picture of someone's life, I thought you really had to address the challenges that made them who they were. I didn't know how to do that while staying respectful of my grandma's privacy. So without saying exactly what had happened, as even today I just know pieces of the truth, I credited my grandma for often being the quote-unquote bigger person in some trying, undetailed situations. Where words escape me, I turned to the all-knowing Oprah and told the funeral attendees how my grandma embodied the meaning of a question I heard on an episode, would you rather be right or happy? And on that day, I stood in the same church I was baptized in, the same lector stand where I had recited readings during school masses, and I lied. Well, I say I lied because I couldn't say what I really wanted to say, which was I was pissed at her for not fighting back when people took things from her that wasn't theirs to take. But I was more pissed that she didn't have the right to fight back, that she didn't have the means to fight back. I'm mad at her for turning the other cheek because they, society, her place in the world, her gender, her color, her religion, told her to do so. I'm sad that even though she loved so deeply and gave so much to the men in her life, she wasn't successful in making her marriage work twice. And I'm heartbroken that she lost a son, because we all know parents shouldn't bury their children. I thought about the importance of what I said, the things that were left unsaid. This was it. This was the summation of 96 years of a life well lived, with triumphs and tragedies. Was it good enough? Did everyone in that church feel like they knew her just a little bit better when I was done? Did everyone understand how much I just truly adored her? But even if I failed, I walked away from the podium knowing I had tried my best, and that I gave her the honor and the respect that she so rightfully deserved. So in learning more about Zora Neale Hurston's life and what I consider a tragic death, I couldn't help but wonder if at her simple funeral, was she given a eulogy? Did they talk only about her amazing accomplishments in education, literature, and anthropology? Or did they also take that opportunity to shed light on some sad and unfair events that led her to that moment? That moment where she died penniless and in obscurity in a county home. That moment where her neighbors passed around a collection plate, but they still just didn't have enough for a headstone. Did they try, like I did, but feel like I failed to do with my grandma's eulogy, to give homage to an amazing person while also giving a complete picture of who she was, including the not-so-pretty stuff? And it was so interesting that Zora actually foresaw this moment where she dies in poverty. She wrote to W.E.B. Du Bois to propose a, quote, cemetery for the illustrious Negro dead. She wrote, quote, let no Negro celebrity, no matter what financial condition they might be in at death, lie in inconspicuous forgetfulness. We must assume the responsibility of their graves being known and honored. So I think it's absolutely fitting that then Alice Walker's piece in Miss Magazine, where she describes finding Zora's unmarked grave in almost waist-high weeds and placing a simple gray headstone that reads, Zora Neale Hurston, a genius of the South, is what sparked the renewed interest in Zora's work. This then led to the reprinting of her masterpiece, Their Eyes Were Watching God, and finally the acceptance and understanding that eluded her while she was alive. I've heard a saying, it doesn't matter how one died, but how one lived. I'd like to add that maybe it doesn't matter how you die, but it does matter how you were treated after you died. The funeral, the eulogy, the burial, the ceremony, it matters in our culture. We respect the dead, we honor their history, and we take those pieces of them, their victories and their losses, with us through the rest of our lives. Then we hope that one day, someone will take the same care with us, to tell our truth and take a piece of us along with them. Thank you.